here's a hard place to live. Real hard. Ain't no soft landing nowhere in here. You either catch on quick, or this place chew on you slow. This life don't hand out directions. Just wait. Just pressure sitting on your chest every morning. Folks think trouble kicked the door in. Nah. Trouble slick. Trouble got perfume on. Smiling at you like it already know your name, already in the room when you walk in. That's the slings and arrows, you don't hear them fly, you just feel that sting and wonder where it came from. Whole layer wrapped in dark mystery. Old magic in the walls. Wizards whispering deals they don't keep. Dragons watching from the shadows, counting bodies like loose change. Succubus love looks sweet at first, then you wake up lighter than you went to sleep. Hard tax, soul pawn. It's war out here. Quiet war. Betrayal wears silk and smile real nice. Same cats break bread with you. Be the one selling your name 2 streets over. This whole thing a stone cold trip, baby. No fair fights, no refunds. So whatever shield you walk around with, it better be battle tested. Not shiny. Not shiny. Not fresh out the armory, I'm talking chip paint. Bent edges. Blood you couldn't wash off even if you tried. Cause the layer don't care how fly you look in your armor. They care what's still holding when the smoke drifts off. If you still here tomorrow, still breathing, still standing on your square, then yeah, you's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Layer.
What's happening, party people? Let's get it together. Let's get involved. Get the ticker scrolling. Background. Let's go. We're starting. Right here. Thieves smash into an Oakland barbershop. Oh, wait a minute. I already know what's wrong. 3-step process. StreamYard need to stop doing this, but yeah, I know what's going on already. Here we go. Now we on screen.
They finna be closed down for a while. This is crazy as shit. Wow. Can y'all believe this shit? This shit crazy. Man, let me see if they all right up in here. Man. Hey, bro, y'all cutting?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we still cutting, man. Look, tell everybody come on down, we still cutting. You know what I'm saying? Setback ain't nothing but a setup for a major comeback. You feel me? Greg, you done? Yo, Shamar, you done? Oh, hey, Gerard, you done? Hey, look, check this out. Rick, hey, y'all get down here quick. I don't know how long we gonna be up. All right.
That was dope. You know, when I first heard about this, I would imagine, like most people, when you hear about these bandits breaking into businesses, you know, especially in our community where people are trying to get it.
Look at that. Look at that. They backed into the place. What is in an empty barbershop? This is not like a jewelry store. What is in an empty barbershop? And like they say, they're going to be shut down for long. Now, as long as they had that determination, go get some lumber and close out a little bit more. Go get you a door from somewhere, and you just, get back to business. No, lumber to enclose that little front part right there, probably about a couple G's, and you had the front closed back up. Be back operational. They operating with the glass and everything still around, with the stuff outside the thing. Look at the front of the video. Then the chairs and the debris still. They just set it outside, swept up where they could sweep up, and they got it popping again. Let's listen to the brother's synopsis of what happened.
When I first heard about this, I would imagine, like most people, when you hear about these bandits breaking into businesses, you know, especially in our community where people are trying to get it the right way, it's so easy to be frustrated and ready to do whatever. And what I respect about this, as an EI performance coach, I'm always sent videos about people behaving badly based on the fact that they disagree with something that's happening and they let their emotions get the best of them. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, or if this happened to you and your family, no doubt about it, you'll be pissed. I mean, I was pissed when I seen it. But what they did is a masterclass in emotional intelligence. What they demonstrate is that you don't have to like a situation, you don't have to agree with it, you don't even have to understand it, but it doesn't have to emotionally hijack your day. Now, I know the owner, and trust me, he was pissed. He wasn't feeling it. What did they do? Instead of letting it have an impact on their day, shop's still open. They're getting it clean, they're getting it repaired, and they still keeping business going, right? So both things can be true. You can be pissed, frustrated, and something happened to you and still have a good day. This is a classic example of how emotional intelligence can help you maintain personal freedom so that you can live a better quality of life. So I got to salute Mr. Crispy and his team for not letting their emotions overpower their intelligence and being able to still get the goal accomplished no matter what happened to it. So at the end of the day, the recognition comes because I've seen people give up their whole day for way less. You know, how many times have you let one little thing emotionally hijack you and you can't function for the day? You can't focus on anything else because the emotions are so powerful that it's taking you so long to unpack it and process it. When you have a high level of emotional intelligence, you bounce back relatively quickly, be in a space where you flow with the river and not fight with the rocks, so you still get your goals accomplished. So be on the lookout for more conversations like this with the EI 365 Neighborhood Watch.
EI 365 Neighborhood Watch. And they did exactly what I thought they would. Well, that's what I would do. My cousin lived in a storefront. They was in that thing freezing. All you do, like I said, go get you some 2x4s, plywood, Get you a decent door. So they didn't close it. They could have it open on both sides. Or open on one side, yeah, put that plywood up. Get you a, little door from Home Depot, throw that thing in there. Paint the outside of that plywood, or throw some tile on there, something that look decent, look good, and keep it pushing. Applaud that man. Shout out to him. Let's close that up. Don't move forward. Make sure we put that link in the description. Copy. Yeah. They said business as usual. And that's, the idea of community. Where's the community at? Come together for a brother that's working. Support that man. We see now. That was the thieves crash into a store. Now we're going to relook at last night. I'm going to react to me. Before we get into this conversation about listening to the women. Because I think a lot of the stuff that happened before is just happening again. And a lot of it is people don't want to listen to nobody on either side. They done made their mind up. Because a lot of these tropes have been said for a lot of years now. Niggas ain't shit has been said for a lot of years now. And bitches ain't shit has been said for a lot of years now. Shout out to Almanai, shout out to Stanley, shout out to Deacon Dave. No, Deacon Dave, hit the Cash App, brother. Hit the Cash App. What is this, Stanley? What is this? Go outside of here. Hey, Candy Kang. Let's see what this one is. Punk Apologia. Let's see some right quick. Punk Apologia. See no definitions for that. Maybe let's separate it. Apologia es un group, that's a different language. A formal written defense of one's opinions or conduct. So who's the punk? Anyway, Let's get this out the way and go to, and the beat goes on. I mean, it's 5 damn steps. 6 steps. Gotta come back in. 7 steps to get to that. It's annoying. What is happening?
The problem, one of the problems that you got to understand when you're talking about it's a bulk of it's a small group of men getting all the women. That's what they're interested in, bro. Like it's like you criticizing people for being what you criticizing women for liking what they like. It's more women on this earth than it is men. Every woman not gonna get her own man. And I've never been in a
Shout out to this right here. Let's hit him with the doo-doo.
Thank you for the money, cheese, ready to go. Good scratch, squirrel paper.
Thank you to Deacon Dave for the Cash App. I appreciate it. No apology was needed, though. I was joking. I don't take these things personally, and I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying when I hear people say stuff like that, it's like we giving up on our so-called people. To think that 84% of people just want to be downtrodden and have nothing is just it's a trip thing to think about. But no apologies needed. But thank you for the Cash App.
this relationship in my life. I've been through a lot. I never said I was the best boyfriend or best nothing along them lines. I know where I fuck up at. I know where I.
He's not even trying to be the best. And I even kind of understand based on what we was looking at last night. This guy got a whole lot of women, and that's cool. That's some so-called player stuff. But all them women gonna want to have demands from daddy. So if one of them women want their kids to be in childcare while she go to school and be in some of the best schools and be in a better community and go to college, and so that's just one kid. He said he got 7 of them. It's a hell of a responsibility what comes up out of enjoyment. And then I think, the lack of responsibility after creating 7 kids, but then saying that he's desired by the women is a little wild. That's cool, you desire by the women, and to each his own. If the women was down with it and he was down with it, now them 7 kids is here. What happened with them 7 kids? It's not about the men and the woman and men no more. It's about the kids now. We want to get right here.
It's on that picture. Let me stop. I just came to say hi. I hope y'all have
But no, though. I mean, it's everybody's perspective is different on it, right? Some people agree, some people disagree. But whatever it is, though, it's still your perspective, and it should be allowed. Now, you see it as whining, right? Because we up here talking about it or whatever. But at the end of the day, to me, it's just more about the conversation, right, than anything else. Like you being a part of it. Say even with that piece. So just say me where everything is cool, everything's kosher.
We operate on how the world treat us. in real life. And when they say that black women is the least respected and the least protected, that's a damn lie. The black man is the least respected, and I don't want us to be protected, but hell, I like to be protected in child support court and in divorce courts. We don't get no protection. We don't get all this softness, right? So most black men, like myself, when I come up here, I talk to, they don't care.
What I don't understand is the hair got to be wild. You got to be in mid-eating. Why is he like multitasking? We got a panel of silent people. Deacon said, where did the 84% came from? Remember, we looked up, because people are talking about how easy it is to be successful right now. So remember, I went to ChatGPT last night and asked, what's the percentage of African-American people who make over $100,000? It says 16%. And then, it goes down lower and lower the more money you make. But 16%. So the other 84% that don't make $100,000, when I hear people say everybody should be successful, and they say success starts at six figures, which I don't think. I think you're just making it at six figures. Because if you got $100,000 a year, you got to think about taxes, and then where do you live at? If you make $100,000 a year in California, you just making it. Because after taxes, you're just making it. So you probably and that's for me alone. That's not including a wife and kids, especially if you're talking about a stay-at-home wife. Because if it's $100,000 a year just for me after taxes, if I have a wife, you might as well add on another 100. Damn near, because you're gonna have to be saving or whatever else for the potential kids that might be coming. And then this thing here, where Jay Prince is talking about, they say the black woman is the least protected. Well, women in general right now, shout out to women, feminism, and liberal men for overswinging the pendulum. It started at the Me Too movement, and now these women have a whole bunch of power. And they say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it was a whole lot of abuse of that power. So the Me Too movement took down a whole bunch of people, some that legitimately needed to be taken down, and then a bunch that did not. I should get that other clip from earlier too, because it has something to do with, before I go over into the clip with Clifton Powell. Let me see. Where was that clip on? Oh, that was Big Facts Podcast. Let me grab that up right quick, because that goes along with this too. Grab that up right quick. Big Facts, Conseco dude. And then there's two of them. This is the one I'm looking for, I think. Is this the one? Yeah. It was the one from 9 hours ago, 10 hours ago, live. 5 months ago. No. Let me see. 13 hours ago. There we go. Give me 1 second. Let me see. 15, 10. There we go. Let's pull this over right here. And the beat goes on. And then make sure we put this link in the description. Yeah, man. It ends in 8C. Make sure we get that link out there so we don't have to worry about it later. And then we can move forward listening to JP talk about whatever the hell it is he talking about.
I don't know how JP be explaining shit, man. I be listening to him sometimes. It just be kind of crazy.
Kinda. What when you say kinda? What do you mean?
Like the nigga jump, like you said, from like one thing to another and be doing some other shit, right?
He literally said he's a baby mama. He literally walks around with bonnets on. He puts wigs on and talks in a woman's voice. Now he's up there saying when they say the woman is least protected, least respected, he basically said he wanted to be a woman. Or am I hearing wrong?
The JP, besides all metrics across the board, besides gender, is a black baby mama.
Right.
If you remove the gender out there, he is a solid like black baby mama for real. He's
ratchet, like not just not ratchet baby mama.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So of course he's gonna want the same rights as his counterparts, the other baby mama. So I can't really blame him for that. But
so when he explains things, just close your eyes and just imagine. Oh, okay. He listens like one and he explains things like one. It don't have to completely make sense. He's just venting, and he can vent for a long time. You can go over there and he just get up. He has a couple of views from the shitter. He's on a toilet.
I never ever even want to see any nasty shit like that in my life. Man.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to see no nasty shit like that in my life. I don't even care.
I'm just saying. He'll get right up from the toilet, go grab he'll go right from the toilet outside and smoke a cigarette. No hand washing. I don't even think the toilet get flushed. Smoke a cigarette, come in and just reach his hand in a bag of chips and start eating the chips. I watched one. I didn't need to watch another one because I couldn't believe it. And and got a woman and got married. That's another one I watched that was hilarious. They got an Airbnb that had a portable jacuzzi that they both got in, and when they got out of it, it looked like tea.
I was gonna say, and he got a decent wife out of the deal for the metrics he was hitting. That is that's pretty high end baby mama. You know what I'm saying? A wife he got out of that deal, right? I mean, nigga ain't have no job. He was on welfare EBT talking about building out a damn food truck. And she came along and went along with the shit.
Hey, man.
It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me he got such a high grade of a woman.
And you know what? Speaking of the food truck getting finished, I saw a clip today that Dr. Umar said that the school is finished.
At his lowest bottom.
Well, that's not rare. That's why it's confusing, and that's why. So when he go on panels and he got a wife and blah blah blah, and these dudes doing everything, and it ain't working out. He wins that argument on the front end, but then when it's over in 1 month, that's like some Kim Kardashian stuff. But let's hope that the queen is not being led along by her nose. She say that we all in the mob of defending these dudes. So who's crying now?
Y'all are. Y'all be letting a little man. Y'all let JP rest underneath y'all bosom for 5-6 years, man. If you don't get out of here.
Underneath who bosom?
Facts. She right.
Where's up underneath who bosom? Me and JP was funking when I was in the Black House. In fact, most of the Black House was funking.
I'm just talking about the brotherhood, okay? The brethrenhood.
Oh, like the sisterhood? They both not real.
But y'all stay on code way more than we do.
Mammies, male identified women, and in the brotherhood, you got the lane.
It does exist, but it's very conditional. There's a lot of conditions to be in the brotherhood. You know, so it's very conditional. But
What are
yes,
the
it's
conditions?
a lot of shit.
So, okay,
No.
so tell me if
Y'all
this
don't even be knowing each other. Y'all don't even be knowing each other and be on each other's side.
Well, when we looked at what the sisterhood was the other day, Pretty Intellectual said that's what the sisterhood did. Y'all take extra Cotexes or whatever y'all use, tampons, in case somebody have an accident, if they need their eyelash, strangers, if they need their eyelashes corrected, y'all correct them, you know.
We
Yeah,
don't purposely go out our way to do it for other people unless we like work in an enclosed area and we have it for everybody. Somebody's got to chip in. We're not just going to be doing it out of the kindness of our heart unless we're a brown-nosing, pleasing ass motherfucker that's always telling on people. Those people are the ones that do shit like that. The little snitches that know everybody business. Those are the ones that bring everything and make everybody participate so they can get in your business. Those are the ones that do stuff like that. Or the job provides it. Unless you bring it for yourself. Women don't traditionally be bringing it for other women.
That's not
bullshit.
what that lady told the other day.
I ain't never took
That's
no
bullshit.
fucking tampons to work for no bitch. I've looked for some from that I had stashed in my car because I might need some one day. And she asked me, did I have some? And I went and checked and I could find only a tampon and she wanted a pad. So, I mean, that's only how I remember giving a girl something.
There's nothing wrong with saying that there is a brotherhood and there is a sisterhood. Okay, and both sides do a lot of the same shit. They do.
Right. So the brotherhood is the people
I don't. Shit, I
that see
don't.
stuff that DJ Academics do and somehow defend DJ Academics. They see stuff that Fresh and Fit do and somehow defend what Fresh and Fit do.
It depends on what's being said. But they
Corey,
definitely defend JP. Y'all been defending JP. She windmilling for JP. Shit, I fucking paid money to ban his ass from panels and people wouldn't even fucking ban him because he was gonna cry. Man, yeah, man, come on. We talking about JP. We ain't talking.
I wonder what panels those was. I think that I don't now. Let me talk about that now. I think people won't go for that because they can make more money within there because this controversial stuff he say either get them dropped, they can make clips out of it. It's that kind of thing.
But to not even take him away, that's
Yeah. You should take him away if you paid for him to get away. But like some channels have like time limits or something.
when he was going over on Izzy channel, Izzy made him undroppable, took the bounties off him.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
I'm not just saying Izzy's the only one who did it, but I'm just saying because he cries and you guys have sympathy for that cry baby ass shit. But when a woman cries, she got to man up. She got to do this. She got to be stronger. She got to choose better. But we got this nigga over here damn near got everything but the pussy because he got the titties. He got the bonnet. He probably got the makeup too. Who knows?
Well, these women is laughing at him as he's talking right now. And these dudes don't look like they're agreeing with him.
I haven't been seeing what's been happening over the last 2 weeks, but I'm talking about years of this crybaby ass shit.
I'm not going to disagree that he don't be crashing out.
And then if you been beefing with him the whole time, how was you part? Isn't the Black House JP?
Yeah,
Why was you part of the group? If you
we all began no. We all began on Fight Club, right? As Fight Club was winding down, the initial Black House, he was the president, right? But it was originally Fatty and them. It was JP, Fatty, Ali, Marcus, Chaz. That's what the original Black House was. Now, when it was that, I wasn't really there like that. Now, when they fell out, that happened in the Black House, and they started calling it the Crack House. That's when everybody left. So the only people that were there were me, Bomb Cherry, Governor Ron, and PH Diva.
Oh.
Because the majority of people left, and the majority of people that left started calling it the Crack House.
How many
And,
years
and the
ago?
reason I was there is because I'm an insomniac. I be up at night. I sleep in like the daytime.
How
Yeah.
many years ago was this shit?
Which one, the Fight Club or the Black House?
Black House.
The Black House. Well, it just ended. It just got shut down. But I think it was around probably 3 years.
Okay. So it was kind of new too. It was just for a minute though, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it got made at the end of Fight Club. So it was supposed to be when people got kicked off Fight Club, they were supposed to be able to go to something called the Gulag. But they didn't keep that Gulag idea. They turned it into the Black House. Yeah, so it was supposed to be if you get kicked out of Fight Club, because Fight Club used to be so packed nobody could get on the panel, and then it was always like kicking people off. And that's what everybody's trying to make. A lot of people are trying to make their channel like that. Especially we moving forward. It's supposed to be about this conversation right here.
Soft when they get ready to manipulate the situation for you to feel sorry for their ass. OG, I know you getting older. It's like with my aunties and them when they didn't whoop the other kids like they beat the shit out of us. So you getting kind of old, you getting a little soft on.
Hey, J. Penn, I can still whoop your ass. You know that. So don't even start that. I can still whoop your ass. You know that. So don't be talking about that old shit. Don't be talking about that old shit. Don't even think about talking about no old shit, okay? Because you know I still can whoop your ass. So when I can't whoop your ass, then I will get old.
OG and JT.
Yeah, we moving forward. Here we go. I think nope. A little bit further. Here we are.
Oh, you disagree with me on some things. You will at least say it in a very respectful way. So I just wanted to give y'all flowers. And then I'm gonna go to some articles. Damn.
Y'all seen that movie Devil's Advocate when that nigga in court was trying to talk, but the devil was like, "No, shut your ass up."
I'm going to crash
He
out.
put that curse on somebody put a root on your ass.
Yeah. Jay Prince say he shot a.
That's you, ADS? Oh, ADS left. Oh, okay, that's what he's saying. He's leaving. All right.
Is that who? I'm sorry. I had to put my thing on mute because I was trying not to laugh and I was trying to get my finger to the phone. Oh, you sound like me. Cause I be trying to be good, but sometimes it's like after I got attacked and I know I don't be messing with people, everybody getting it now. Like if I sit here and have to sit here and listen to this women bashing stuff, you getting it. I don't even care no more.
You think he was bashing somebody this time?
Yeah. He always crying about what women do, and then he gonna use the example of what men perpetuate against y'all all the time, but then blame it on the women because everything's our fault. That's so ridiculous. He's ridiculous. The fact that y'all even consider that crybaby argument that he just tried to make, that's y'all some. Woo. Why would she tease him about crying like a bitch, which is supposed to be referring to her, if that's not what y'all say to each other? Why would she be doing that? And then you're gonna blame her because she's just repeating the shit that she's seen. Y'all been doing it, and y'all stay doing it. That's like one of y'all favorite things to tease y'all friend. I seen you over there acting like a bitch.
Oh, you just saying men in general?
Yeah, men in general. Yeah, that's how y'all talk to each other because I see it all the time. I grew up with all boys. I got 4 brothers.
Do you think that was a good thing or a bad thing?
Depending on what the reason was. Okay, like let's say for instance, if my mom was trying to make us eat some food that we didn't want to eat because she wasn't a good cook at all. And one situation, she was making something from this nasty ass cookbook she said. It was like some oyster chowder. I just know it was some white things that been in the freezer for like months. And then she took that shit out. Whatever she did, I wasn't planning on eating it. So if you gonna whip my ass, let's just get it over with. Cause I stayed getting in trouble for food. But my brother, he didn't want to whoop it, and he just kept crying. My dad came out of the room after probably letting them cry in there for about an hour. That's the first thing that came out of his mouth. He even used to say shit like that to me. That's why I just said I just rather get my whooping. I don't want to stand in the corner and be in that corner for 12 hours. I'm not trying to do any of that. I just want the whooping so I can just go to bed and not eat no more for the rest of the night.
So because he didn't want to eat the food,
and he was crying
like a bitch.
Huh? Yep, that's what my dad told him, and that was his favorite thing to do. He even did it to me.
That
Just for not wanting to eat hot food, like malted milk, oatmeal, stuff like that. I cannot eat hot temperature food. I still can't, even at my age now. And I stayed in trouble for that. He didn't whoop me, but my mom would be the one that whooped me. He would leave me in the corner all day for like 12 hours, like literally till like day near dinner time.
Standing.
And if I cried, that's what I was going to hear. And then one of the times he asked me, did I want to go to the store? And I said, yes. You know this mean, evil bastard? I mean, I think I was like 8. He had me go get a hot pickle. You remember those peppermint sticks that was thick and they were long? He had me get that. And a pack of cigarettes, because at 8 years old, I could buy cigarettes. I bought him some cigarettes because he smoked Cool Filter Kings. It was some other stuff. But then when it was time for me to ask if I have to get back in the corner or not, and he was like, well, I'm just going to make you a snack and then you're good after that. Or I don't remember exactly what he said, but I just knew I could get out the corner after I ate my snack. You know what my snack was?
No.
That hot ass pickle with that peppermint stick in it, and I had to eat the whole thing.
That was disgusting to you?
Do you know how bad that burnt my face and my mouth? I almost had to go to the emergency room. I was 8 years old.
I know people.
And because I was crying like a
pickle. Yeah. We are almost there.
Eating. I'm gonna stop eating on.
Who the fuck eat pretzels without drinking water on the side? Like you suicidal? You might as well be like you eating Popeyes biscuits without no drink.
I don't know how many of y'all raise kids.
Hold on, JP. It's DJ turn.
Yeah, he kept talking out of turn and stuff. So there's that, and then there's this. Because the show we're about to look at is called Listen to Women. This is insanity, but dangerous. This is insanity, but dangerous. This woman is crying. He like, what is you accusing me of? He thinking she talking about she calling the police. Oh man, it wasn't on screen. Let me rewind it. Oh man. These damn steps. Let's see. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Right here. Pull it up. Here we go. Let's go listen to it again.
So he's taking advantage of me, and I want to call the police officer. And I'm not getting out this car until you guys get here.
All right, so let me give y'all an update on today, bro. I made this little shit right. I made this book dating. I don't even be on book dating.
You being weird, but I swear to God, that's fine. That's fine with me, bro, because you know I'm not a drinker.
I just
And that
met
shit
you.
weird as fuck. That's the thing. You just met me and I'm not a drinker. I'm telling you I'm not a drinker. So why would you sit there and play in my face like that? This the thing. That shit weird. I'm going through shit, bro.
I just met you not even 30 minutes ago. So how I
I'm
know you
going
want
through
this
a lot of shit. I need somebody to support me.
I'm gonna take you at home, fool.
What to do?
I'm gonna take you
I'm
home.
not a drinker. Why would you do that, bro? I don't want to be on camera.
Yeah, I ain't showing nobody this for my safety.
I've been happy since I've been with my ex. It was abusive.
I don't know. I haven't abused you.
I'm sorry.
So what you done got too drunk?
That's what it was.
So tell the camera that so I can cover my ass.
I got too drunk. And
So I didn't touch you. I didn't hurt you.
No, you didn't. Why would I play with you like
You
that?
just making sure, fool. I just met you. I don't
She just said seconds ago, you're abusing me. I'm finna call the police. She just said that seconds ago. You're abusing me. I'm about to call the police. And she started crying. He put the camera up to say, how am I abusing you? Then he put the camera on himself. We're about to look at this thing talking about listen to women. And the women is the closest thing to God if she's not God herself. We're about to listen to that in a second.
know you. And you crying already. Look how you, I just met you 30 minutes ago and look at you.
I hate when people take advantage of me, bro.
I'm taking advantage of you?
I'm not saying you taking advantage of me.
You are saying that. What do you think you said? You said, you're abusing me. I'm calling the police. He said, what? Then he put the camera on you. Then you swatted at the camera. And he said, I'm abusing you. And now we're here. I would get away from somebody that just breaks. I was involved with a woman like this. I was involved with them like when I met her, she was drinking now. We were drinking. And now later on in the situation, she said the same thing. You know I can't drink. Then why do you keep drinking? Did he pin you down and open your mouth and pour it in your mouth? How does somebody make somebody do something?
My ex, literally, I've been in. What more you want? I've been in a relationship. You finna go to
We can go to
jail.
your house though. Where
No,
you
it don't matter. Stop recording me.
Where you say? We can go to your house so you can feel safe.
No, ma'am. I'm gonna wait till you guys get here because he traffic.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
She just said he wasn't abusing her. He's saying she's freaking him out. He's trying to take her home. She's on the phone with the police talking about he's sex trafficking her. Just moments ago, she said, you're not abusing me. You're not doing nothing to me. He said, yeah, I'm uncomfortable. And if I was him, I don't know if I'd keep driving with her. Get out of my car. They probably turned that into something. He met her on Facebook, dating.
He said he would wait. So yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm at home.
You not at home. Why we get to your house?
I don't give a fuck about you recording because I'm my dead daddy. You told me if I'm suck your dick. You just told me that. And I recorded you. So I'm gonna show them that too.
That's cool.
Just fine. Now I'm pressing charges too. Yeah. This what y'all going to jail.
Look at that. Yeah, man. I ain't want to do this, man, but I've been getting all type of private calls all night, threats and shit. So I just wanted to clear the air before a motherfucker try to make me sound like I'm the bad person. Bruh, be careful when y'all dealing with these females. This for awareness on. I'm not trying to embarrass this girl or nothing, but I'm just trying to save somebody, help somebody. Young brothers, she started acting crazy. Please record.
The girl called the police, went through with the whole thing. They actually came out there. The question that they're gonna ask, the meat and potatoes question is, did he physically harm you? And it's then on her moral compass to go that far and lie that much. Like, because it is some girls who will actually stop short of lying. That they'll exaggerate what actually happened, but they not with just like saying that, oh yeah, he tried to pull down my pants physically. And really it's because the girl think that what she actually went through was enough to get him arrested. She really think asking the fuck after he paid for dinner or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the night on the town, the day on the town. She think him asking for sex after that or head after that is a crime. And that's that's scary. Like, you really believe that that's a crime so much that you don't even know that you need to add some more, you know what I'm saying, to make that actually illegal. So they'll stop short of saying that, no, he didn't hit me. He just told me he wanted some head. And he didn't even buy me no shoes. All he did was buy me. So was this a prostitution deal? No, I'm not no prostitute. That's why I didn't. He shouldn't be asking me that. And then he don't want to take, like, so she's mad because after he took out for drinks and eating, he don't want to take her to the mall. He want to fuck before they go to the mall. You know what I'm saying? So she's not liking the order in which it's going because she was really planning on, I'm going to get this money and leave. I'm not trying to do nothing, you know what I'm saying, with him. And he should let me scam him like that. It's the whole thing is just, you know what I'm saying? And to get yourself in this stupid type of situation is just like, dog, I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. Like, this is what the Men Too movement was for. Like, she didn't have no issue calling the police and telling them he's telling me get out the car. I'm scared. He's telling me to get out the car. And I'm not getting out till y'all get here because he's trying to human traffic me. You know what it is at the real end of the day, what it is that the nab in the back of her mind, the nab species as a whole, they believe that they really have the mind of a racist YT person. they feel like you as a black dude, your kryptonite is the police. If I threaten to call the police on you, you will do whatever I want you to do. Not only that, I know that the police kill y'all. So you make me mad, I'm gonna get them over here to kill you. They gonna get my get back. I'm gonna use them as a weapon. No difference than how the Karen in the affluent neighborhood would do. No different.
Okay, so y'all couldn't hear me because I was muted. Okay, so we'll rewind the footage so y'all can see what's going on. Y'all could rewind it when y'all come in, but I'll rewind it right quick. We're about to watch something where they had a bunch of people together having a conversation about listening to women. In particular, listen to black women. The black woman is God. She's the closest thing to God because black people come out of Africa, the whole Lucy thing. So listen to black women. That's what we're about to get into. We started off this thing listening to a conversation from last night. We only dealt with a little piece of this conversation last night, but I want to do a deeper look from the certain point and moving forward. So I played the clip of JP saying that they say that the black, because they like to repeat things that's been said before. So they repeated the whole thing that Malcolm X said about the black woman being the least protected. So I played the clip from last night of a guy that was talking to Anton Daniels, who got 7 baby mothers and a criminal past. So it was the whole, Pookie versus Educated Lame thing. So the big old swole dude from out of prison came on and said the reason why all these bitches is fucking me is because they don't want to fuck a lame like you. They'll come take your money. They might marry you. I'll be fucking your bitch when she marry you. That kind of thing. Now, is that a lie? Then it's the whole, all these men, I don't know if they slow or what's going on with them. They got all these babies that they didn't ask this person to get a paternity test ahead of time if they didn't trust them or some point. But at some point, they went and got a paternity test to come find out the kid is not your father. And the high ass numbers of that. So this is what they do. This is what they be saying is bashing. I'm not talking about bashing nobody. I'm just saying what they say the numbers are. They say the numbers of kids is being born to the wrong father because some dude was scared to ask, blah, 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 is ridiculous. Then they start talking about baby deletions. And they say that number is ridiculous. So we're about to go over to a conversation about once you mess with this woman, what she does with her body is her business. If she want to delete the baby, that's her business. If she want to keep the baby, that's her business. You don't have shit to do with it. Shut the fuck up. You skeeted in her. Now she has total control. We're about to get to that conversation in a minute. So I want to start off with the prison dude. They got the 7 baby mamas. Or you could talk about Shorty Low the rapper. Well, I don't know. I think he had 12 baby mamas. And then, because I want to talk about the broke niggas that got baby mamas. Forget the Cam Newtons and the Futures and the Nick Cannons. They rich. But even that situation. So you get the Cheyenne Bryant and the other one, Fontenette, talking about all they doing is creating broken homes. If we stop slinging shit at each other, maybe we could come to some kind of understanding. But it's a fucking real gender war. And the only way you can have a war is if you have 2 combatants and both sides is fighting like a motherfucker. I'm not in the motherfucker because I don't think I need to talk about all women. I need to be concerned about the women I interact with. And I'm not interacting with none. I am celibate and living in a house alone. So I'm not, you don't have to worry about me or the bear. Okay, so did I wind it back? I had to rewind it back. People jumping in and out. I think y'all saw it. And we don't have to listen to no more Canseco. I think we can move on. But shout out to Canseco. We can get to this conversation now. Conversation with black men. The conversation just be seeming like a wobbler to me. Don't make sense. Because it's just, well, this is what's wrong with you niggas. Is this. Okay, so what made you say that? Because y'all got this space that's supposed to be for men alone, and y'all sit over here and cry. Now, when I was younger, I remember very vividly, I used to hear women say they want men to be more expressive, more emotionally available. You know, they don't have to be angry and all this other shit. So it was a whole movement against masculinity. And they start calling masculinity toxic. Do people not forget all this shit? So when they start talking about toxic masculinity, and now they're saying, where are all the men at? You said they was toxic. You said they was dangerous. Why don't men approach me anymore? You said we're dangerous. I be on these panels with grown ass women, and people will be like, that's disgusting. Ain't nobody supposed to be around this motherfucker under the age of, I don't know, 18. And I don't know no fucking body that I didn't talk to on here. Maybe Cammy. That's fucking under the age of 29. If it is, I don't know. So where is this victimhood with people around that want to be around? But here's the discussion. Let's take our time and listen very closely. And then here's the thing, and not to make excuses, but dudes went to the military, turned into junkies in the military because they couldn't deal with what they were doing while they were in the military. I played this shit already on a clip I made about the Monahan report and exactly what was going on during that time. It's supposed to be no man rule. A lot of them dudes was addicts. And a lot of different people just can't cope with life. So the way that they cope is with drugs and alcohol. And the thing that they do is, so in the Willie Lynch letter, they said the way you tame the minds mentally is you get a man and put him in the middle of the street, biggest, buffest man, tie a rope around one leg, tie a rope around the other leg, then slap the horses and rip the man in half. Now let's jump forward to now. Philando Castile, licensed weapon owner. Pow! Put the knee on the neck of George Floyd. Do what you did to Oscar Grant. Do what you did to Tamir Rice. So you saying that the young folks is out here just on pills, drinking, doing this just because they just addicts, or they dealing with not post-traumatic, traumatic stress disorder. When I was really young, when all that crazy shit was happening, psychologically, I wasn't even thinking, what was going on because you're just living through it. I remember I was hella young. We lived on 73rd and Fresno Street. We were so don't open no doors, don't open no windows. I don't give a damn what's going on. My sister is 7 years older than me, 6 years older than my bigger brother. So she was probably 12. My brother was 6. I was probably 5. My little brother was 4. We hearing some rumbling, banging. We're on the bottom floor in the back of our house. We woke up the next day. It was yellow tape. It was like a fake fur coat. But we heard it was a woman and a man in the back. So we don't know if the woman got deleted, what happened. But that was the first thing I remember as far as crime-wise. Hella young, in the house. Boom, 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 boom. Hella young. You don't know how that messed with you psychologically. And that don't even count with when they was deleting ladies and dudes was having, getting popped, seeing bodies, all this stuff. Younger, I wasn't thinking about it the way I think about it now. So like even when I got transferred to my father and got to West Oakland, all that gang stuff. Well, we didn't call it gang. Well, all that violence there. People getting popped, wrapped up in sticker bushes, stuck in trunks. All the crazy, chaotic stuff. So when people be talking to stuff like, well, the men just ain't this and the women just ain't this, how do you cope with all that stress? Is people just drinking because there's alcohol around? Or is it all programmed and planned? So that's what Clifton Powell is talking about right now. His daddy was crazy, but how did he get there? What made him get to the point where he didn't want to hear shit? He just knocked the fuck out of anything. How did he get there? Oh shit, I'm doing it again. Let me rewind it. Let me rewind it. I wish StreamYard would stop messing with this. Here we are.
And so, I do want to also make sure that, I ain't got no kids, just so I can't talk about, the standpoint of a father, but there are fathers at this table. I also got 25 nephews and nieces. I'm Unc over here. You know what I'm saying? I got Unc strategy over here. But there's perspectives from all on this table from every angle of it. And I do want to go back to, and we can go wherever you wanted to go, whatever you wanted to say, but I do want to talk about that, like you said, the government shouldn't be involved. Keeping in mind that this is a government that was steeped in what they call white supremacy. I like to call white delusion, right? You know what I'm saying? It was the same thing, right? And they
don't want to believe that they came from a black woman.
Yeah, and the definition.
Becky, you came from a black woman.
Well, the definition of masculinity, the definition of what we do with our bodies and how we define a government's role in that came from that corrupt standpoint, that corrupt perspective. So I 100% agree that the government should do anything about it. But where did you want to go with that?
Well, I think one of the things that I think helps, I believe.
Yeah, so I pulled it up and was playing it, and it was in the back. So we're going back to it because it's like a 7-step process to get to the damn thing. So you gotta click share. Then when share comes up, you gotta click the thing, and then after you click the thing, you gotta. It's too many steps. It shouldn't be that difficult. It should just be share, and it should just pop up on the screen like it used to be. It used to be you hit share and you go right over to the YouTube. So now, matter of fact, let me go back. Let me drop it off the screen. Let me count how many steps it is to get to this. Let me drop this. Stop. So let's see. Gonna go here. 1. Then we go up to share screen. 2. Then we click share screen. 3. Then we go to the channel. 4. Then we click share again. 5. Then we get out here. You got to come back in StreamYard and to get down here. 6. And then you got to go to the channel you just came from to play the clip. 7. 7 steps. Why is it 7 damn steps? Let's do it again. Stop. I'm clicking. 1, I'm gonna hit share screen. 2, I'm gonna hit share screen again. 3, I'm gonna find the show I'm looking at. It is called Black Men Trust Black Women. 4, now I gotta hit share again. 5, now I gotta go out here and go back into StreamYard. 6, then I gotta go back outside. 7, to play the damn clip. But here we go. I'm gonna rewind that again. So sometime y'all hear me talking because I'm outside of StreamYard clicking this. But when I go through all them steps, I got to come back in StreamYard to put it on the stream. That's ridiculous. They need to fix that. Go back again. Right here. Let's go.
Keeping in mind that this is a government that was steeped in what they call white supremacy. I like to call white delusion, right? You know what I'm saying? It was the same thing, right? And they
don't want to believe that they came from a black woman.
Yeah, and the definition.
Becky, you came from a black woman.
Well, the definition of masculinity, the definition of what we do with our bodies and how we define a government's role in that came from that corrupt standpoint, that corrupt perspective. So I 100% agree that the government should do anything about it. But where did you want to go with that?
Well, I think one of the things that I think helps, I believe, with women's right in terms of their sexual reproduction is the relationship that we have with the black man. I heard a psychiatrist when I was on one of the panels say that African-American men and women are suffering from 450 years of post-slavery PTSD.
Yes.
So one of the things that I love about this thing right here is that the next one I want to see is black men and black women sitting down together and talking about how do we learn to exist in peace. And I say that because I'm saying this, and a lot of times I have to catch myself. It's emotional. I grew up with a lot of violence around. My father, when he drank, I seen him knock women. My father fight a baby. He was just off. He was mentally off from the oppression of this culture that broke him. And, so we were born, a lot of us were born into that, our fathers, and we're trying to break those cycles. So somehow that ties into me to women's reproductive choices in terms of having a baby with a guy that's comes from a broken family. Now the baby coming in with a broken family and bam, 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 and the mother's asking the father for support and like, yo, I ain't asked you to have that motherfucking baby. You know, that ain't shit. I don't even know if that's time up. I mean, there's so many levels to this that make women cower or not want to talk, you know, or be the victim of one guy shot his baby mama and the kids the other day. It's so I think we got to attack that from not just right now in this racist culture that we're seeing with this administration, but also from a generational standpoint. For sure.
I don't have the historical information, man. That's why I'm a listener, man. I'm a great listener. But you know, when I hear, you know, from your generation, your perspective, and your perspective, and everybody's, you know, perspective in the sense that as we get into it, I feel like we let women down, and that.
See, there we go. This is something you hear on the panels also. It's you old heads. It's you old heads. It's like you don't let what was just said marinate. You don't go back and try to figure out what was happening in 1968. What was happening you watch these movies and stuff. So you see a movie about Charlie Parker, you see a movie about Smokestack Lightning with the what was that called? With Beyonce and Cadillac Records. You saw Cadillac Records. You saw all them movies. So you seeing people get dogs put on them, beat up, kids getting deleted, folks being hung and all this other shit. Well, some of them men that wasn't brave or whatever else, the way they dealt with that oppression, whatever else, was to drink and do drugs. So when you look at that Marvin Gaye album cover, I Want You, which is the Sugar Shack, which is the famous picture from Good Times, then people are in a juke joint. The way they escaped, sex and alcohol and drugs. You being oppressed. How do you deal with oppression? How do young people deal with oppression now? They talk about all the shit the generation before them didn't do. The oppression is not over with. Is everybody dealing with depression, with the oppression easily? And that's just oppression. So a lot of the things that come up out of oppression is depression. Anybody dealing with that? Then they don't even have nothing to do with how people can't get along or interact with each other. And that has nothing to do with the freaks in your family that's still coming to the picnics and the family functions. He did what to who? And why is he still around? So family secrets, abuse, drug abuse, oppression, depression, these conversations be had way too casual. And we just we're going to say all this shit at one table and something's going to be solved. No way. No fucking way. Right now, we looking at Bro-Willa, that's what they call her, and Glorilla. She got siblings, they say 10, that feel like she's supposed to be doing something. So that's black tax. Then some people have survivor's guilt. I survived that. Some people feel like they have to pay. So when you hear about, okay, you make $100,000, when people who really know anything about money know that's not no money. We've had shows about that. What's her name? Keisha Cole had a show where she buying all the family this because I'm making money. And then her damn handlers told her, well, if you keep spending money like this, we don't know that next year you're going to have a hit. We don't know that 10 years from now you're going to have a hit. But if you keep spending money like this, you will be broke and homeless. That's not the way money works. A whole show about it. Multiple shows about it. Cadillac Records was about it. I think I'm going to get that other clip about posthumous. I'm going to put that on here too. But this casual back, I'm positive they're going to clash. But let's let Luke James talk.
Regard, we didn't stand on business. And
what you mean by that?
I just feel like we let depression wear us down. Fathers let depression wear them down and beat them down, take them out of the house. and
No, they forced them out of the house.
Forced them.
No, they had a program. They forced them out.
I get
they didn't leave the house.
I feel that. I understand that. I can't, but ain't nobody gonna make me leave my woman. I get that. I get it, but ain't nobody gonna make me leave my family.
I got you.
I get what. I understand that. I could never fathom what went on back then.
I think you might be alluding to weak ass men allowing things that might be coming up. Like, oh, this seems like, I don't know exactly the historical presence of it either. But you know how you say you stripping us from the house. Oftentimes, I'm a man who dates men. A lot of men are strong. So the way that you say you're not going to take nobody from my family, you're not going to strip me from my family, a lot of people don't walk with that. A lot of people don't have that. So, I mean, like, it is systematic, but I mean, at the same time,
I mean,
you part of like the few men who is not going to live their life like that.
I mean, I get a system that you live in a place that is just geared to tell you ain't shit, you ain't shit, you ain't shit,
and it beats you down.
You ain't shit, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
And it beats your other counterpart down. So y'all come home to
madness,
beatness. Yeah. Nobody know how to heal anybody, right?
It's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
But all that being said is just being glanced over. Somebody gonna get pissed off. That's why I came back to look at it, because I looked at the earlier part of it, because I already know where this is going. You can't talk about all them generations, all these different things, and your perspective on it when you ain't in that position. You got people right now and your generation. Look at what happened with Bobby Brown. It's amazing he's still walking around. Look at what happened with Whitney Houston. You're an entertainer, Luke James. Look at what happened to El DeBarge. Look what happened to Bobby DeBarge. Most of the DeBarges was drug addicts. El DeBarge said for the longest, my family's on drugs, so I'm not going to lose drugs. And he got hurt. He got hurt somehow. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. You can easily go research it. And they gave him some damn pharmaceutical drug. Next thing you know, bam, he was lit. Some people... I guess you have to check this out too. Because they have generations of people using drugs, they're saying that's why they used to call in the 80s them babies crack babies. Their mama had them while they was on crack. So I'll be wondering, if you ever touch some crack, or if you ever whiff some crack because your mother had you when you was on crack, will you be automatically addicted? When these people be drinking and stuff before they have you, if you never had no alcohol and you trying to avoid it because your parents is on alcohol, if you ever get a taste of alcohol, will you be addicted? Is it a part of your DNA now because your mom was on crack, your daddy was an alcoholic? And a lot of these people are just trying to avoid everything. But let's go.
I think it's a lot of different influences that happen, whether it's drugs, right? We know that our community struggled with that for a long time.
But let's talk about them. Let's go back up. No. Let's go back and talk about the CIA putting the drugs in the neighborhood.
That's what I'm gonna say. We're in a country where drugs is probably the most highest profit of things that you want, right? But just speaking on fatherhood and being in the house and not being in the household, I think a lot of pressures coming from East Side, right?
Yeah.
I've looked at fathers who run in the household and had conversations with them and say, man, you've been on drugs since you was 12 years old, brother. Your brain doesn't have the capability of thinking correctly. That's right. You are afraid that you can't provide for your family, so you would rather leave, right? Not knowing that you have a woman who's willing to stay down with you and hold you down no matter what, right? So it's just, as a man who, even to this day, get nervous, right? Like, man, this shit is slowing up. Like, am I better off telling my baby and them, like, are y'all good? No, of course not, right? Right. But you have to be honest about yourself and say, I'm fearful of certain things, and say, and not necessarily a weakness, but necessarily it's like, I'm scared, right? That I can't.
But they can't fathom that back then. So on that report that I did, it was a woman who was sitting on the porch with her arms crossed, and they wanted to talk about these black men. These niggas is weak and blah, 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 blah. She said when these people came back from the military, they was on drugs and whatever else. And she said that a lot of the work was seasonal. So when the wintertime came, it wasn't no saving this or doing that. And then a lot of them dudes just had to sneak around. They were still around, but they had to creep around the house and whatever else. So think about the psychology of that. I don't want my babies to be able to get to welfare, so I got to play this game where I'm not really here. And then when the summer come back, I can, get a couple of dollars. But when the winter come, in the winter, you got to hide like you're not living in a house. So if you ever see them old movies where dudes are standing around a barrel and it's on fire and they drinking, they probably did live at home, but they got to hide. They got to leave out the house. They can't have their shoes in there. It's a whole game, and it's a psychological one too. So it's not something you can just gloss over. Now, does that mean everybody that went to the military cracked? No. But it was a significant number to be talked about. And then the ones that couldn't go, suppose he wasn't, strong enough to go, they stayed around and they was being looked at like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's a whole lot of stuff. And it's not no excuses either. So when I was saying last night, not an excuse, just something that happened. Right now, no excuses. It's just something that's happening. So when I hear people talk about all these successes and they make this much money, I say, okay, so let me look up African Americans that make six figures. I didn't even say six figures. I make $100,000 a year. It says 16%. $100,000 a year doesn't matter because after taxes, you probably gonna have about 67,000. 5,000 a month is just about okay for me to live where I'm living by myself. So when I hear people on here talking about you're gonna probably need $200,000 if you don't have a wife and the kids, that's kind of true. Because you need some money to be able to save and invest and whatever else, because when the money get funny and whatever else, then what? If you don't have no life insurance, you want whole life insurance, medical insurance, dental insurance, insurance for, and them is separate insurances. I used to think medical insurance meant everything all together. Nope. We had to pay out of pocket for these glasses. And then, house warranties. That's for your appliances and stuff. If they get old, they'll replace them. Property taxes. They gonna get your ass. It's just bills on top of bills on top of bills on top of bills. So you will want your family to function like a family. And a lot of times, families don't be functioning like a family. Families be functioning like you be sole provider forever. So you hear stories about my daddy was 60-something years old, still getting up. He was hurt and go to work anyway. Why the fuck did y'all let him do that? That's utility. That mean, even if he wanted to, why did y'all let him do that? So that's what I'm saying. We can't be disjointed like this. Only person that means something is this individual. We all supposed to mean something to each other. And a lot of these times it'd be like, people be listening to be able to attack. Oh no, you making excuses. How? I'm still in the house so far. Me and my wife was together our kids' whole lives until she passed. They stayed in the house until they was adults. My son left this new house when he turned 19 and went to the military. Where am I making excuses? I'm saying that all these other things happen too. When people had this kind of mindset that there's no way, you're just weak. That's bullshit.
Provide. Yeah. And now I've either let someone else kind of tell me what I need to do, right? Rather than following my own intuition and having a relationship with my ancestors in the universe and that can really guide you, or having that one-on-one with your lady. So many things that can pull you out of the house. Similar to the conversation is like, well, if I was enslaved, I wouldn't have done
and then that thing right there too, having a conversation with the ancestors, conjuring. We was listening to that stuff the other day too. I don't know about all of that stuff. I had to have a conversation with my youngest one time. He was saying he felt some kind of way. I said, well, I don't know why you would feel that way. And I had a whole elaborate conversation with him. And sometimes people have that conversation too, but I don't know what that's all about. That's above my pay grade. All I try to do in my head is try not to do nothing crazy. Even though, like, to me, corporations is crooks. There's no other way to say it. Corporations is crooks. So when I see people doing certain things, I be like, well, damn, you starving people. The opportunity that you give them it's like you are giving them some money. They do have access to opportunity, but it's not enough to live on. So that's why I think family need to be more connected with each other. Why are you grown and not contributing some money to the house if you still in the house? When they turn 18, they need to get out. The only reason somebody would need to get out when they turn 18 is if they're a fucking monster. If you have basic human decency and respect for your people, there wouldn't be no reason for somebody to say that. You could stay until you save enough money. We could be using some of the equity to get you into a home. We could function like a family. But what be happening is it'd be 1,000 voices talking to your people about you and about what they don't think is this and blah, blah. If you're not functioning as a family, I just mean as your family unit, mother, father, and children. I don't want to hear about what your friends are doing. I don't want to hear about what some other family members are doing. That's bullshit. That's distractions. Or you just gonna bleed this man until he fall off, and then he took care of us, and he was John fucking Henry. Die once he got outside the other side of the mountain. Man, we'll take his life insurance and go on vacations and fuck that money off.
It's like, well, you really don't know. So it's like, it's so many different things that go into why people do things. And sometimes, yeah, you can name it to it's like, oh, this person was being a coward or this person was being, but a lot of it is fear. And a lot of it is because we're the minority. And because the pressure that comes from so many other people that don't look like us, it's a lot of pressure that makes you feel that way. And then you got the people that's in your community that oppress you, right? Sure. And so as men,
I didn't even listen to this part. For a young person to be saying that, bravo. Let me give it an applause. Because a lot of young people I be listening to, their whole attitude is, no, y'all niggas fucked up. What's wrong with you now? Well, what did Gen X? Well, a lot of Gen X's are in your face now. Well, now they looking horrible with the Epstein stuff. Now they looking horrible with the Diddy stuff. Now they looking horrible. Even though I know 50 Cent is trolling, whatever else, but the fact that 50 Cent and Ja Rule have been feuding for damn near 30-some years is starting to look pathetic now. Especially when some actual violence and different shit happen with that stuff, and they flirting on the edge of more violence. It's just looking, the thing that's happening with Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather, the thing that was happening with Javonta and Floyd, it's just cat and mouse, and a lot of money being just thrown away and thrown around. When you hear about all the, I was just listening to Danny Boy earlier. Danny Boy was on Death Row in the height of it. He sang the vocals on I Ain't Mad at You and a bunch of other Death Row songs. So he was talking about, he was on an independent label with some newer music and he was doing okay, but they giving him, a little bit of money. They gave him like a $75,000 advance for him to do certain things, but he had to use that $75,000 to promote and the whole thing. So your wardrobe, your housing, and every single thing else was $75,000. And I think he said it was like a 2-year contract. So when you know that that's what you got, then you get a little bit of money from shows. So you can work with that a little bit. It's a little bit of money. You can keep you afloat. He said when he was working over there, he was working on his second project and they had offered him $50,000. So $25,000 less. Then he said he got a phone call from Snoop because Snoop got their throwback. So Danny Boy's kind of happy because he's thinking, you know, when Snoop was on death row, he was getting effed over, you know, and he ended up going to Master P. And Master P taught Snoop about the business, but you've heard Snoop and Master P had this conversation before. So Danny Boy is thinking, okay, so Snoop gonna get us right. He said after, you know, he went over there and did this promo thing with Snoop, and Snoop put the new Death Row chain around his neck. He's cheesing, you know. Then when a contract come, Snoop offers him $10,000 for two album situation. And I'm listening to him, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I would think. And then he said that he read deeper into the contract, and that if he would have signed that for the $10,000, he'd have to be exclusively with Death Row for 7 years. Just think about that. I would think what would be fair in that situation would be $250,000. Why that? Because you got to think about housing, promoting whatever albums, because you're talking about holding for 7 years. When you have exclusive rights, I mean, you can't do a commercial, do a vocal for somebody else, nothing. They own you. But let's move forward with this.
We do it to women, right? As men, that's the tier. Right. We do it to women even more, right? We fall underneath that same thing. And so to your point, we got to strip that away, figure out what the issue is with that, have those conversations, understand that it's layers and layers of what it is, but also don't be like, you weak as hell.
I'll make sure that word ain't like that now.
No, I know. You wouldn't be able to do it. You ain't been able to hold it down, but it's just like, man, it's so many, you know, reasons why a man will leave a household. And then sometimes it's, us not holding them accountable and saying, hey, look, man, you need to get your shit together. Yeah. All right. You need to make sure you over there. Because now I'm sitting here playing spades, you're smoking, you ain't seeing your kid 3 blocks down the street in weeks. Right. So no accountability. So to your point, as you was talking to your driver, let's take accountability, but then also kind of give each other a little bit of grace and understanding, especially our OGs who went through a lot, especially our guys who are coming from Vietnam, who came home to nothing and lost everything and went out there and lost their mind, saw things we can never imagine, right?
Did everything for the
Okay, so this brother must have been reading something. All right. Because when other people talk about this stuff, they just be like, you niggas is weak. You niggas, you making excuses. Why is Zeke and Dave talking about pizza? Almanai said this is BS.
this place
Did everything for this country just for them to take it away from you. And so now I say, well, fuck everybody. You know,
that's my entry point to this conversation. I think that because I went to college and I got a master's degree in human relations, I really sat with and grappled with power and domination when it comes to like gender discrimination and when it comes to discrimination against women. So for me in this conversation, thinking about like fatherhood, I can't help but to think about the way in which I was introduced into this conversation about women's progression and how there were critiques of Black women that talked about how us as men start thinking about this shit until we start having kids. So we start to think about how we only think about women when it's tethered to a man. Like, hey, respect her, bro. That's so-and-so, little sister. Hey, respect her, bro. That's so-and-so. So it's really thinking about how us as men, in terms of accountability, we really don't even have a good transition from objectification to fatherhood because you've been a fucker for 20 years. And now you don't want to be a fucker no more. Now you want to be a father. Because we don't have that accountability to think about the like how we are taught to objectify women. And I know in our conversations it'd be like, hey, you can get respect from the homies based off how you get down on a bitch. Yes. Yeah. To be real, you can get capital, popularity, preference based off of how you're able to dominate and objectify other women. So then when I come into the conversation and I want to talk about progression of women, we start to have different, I'm gonna say pathology, different ways that stigma taps into it. And I think one of those is us being very critical about how we relate to women that's not related to us. Like, how do you respect women that's not your sister, that's not your mama, that's not your, you know what I'm saying, you feel me? Oh, even when you find them attractive, like how do you respect for those women? And I think that the conversation starts before we start thinking.
Yeah, you treat everybody like human beings. I don't care how somebody look if they're not related to me or nothing else. I have basic human decency and respect for human beings. I'm not even finna talk about how you look, male or female. I have basic respect for most people I run into until they come with the bullshit. Even when I think about like war and all the other shit, that shit is horrible. So it's all about your perspective on how you look at things. But I know a lot of people that don't give a damn about nothing. They casually talk about all this horrific shit like it's no big deal. Like, just get over it. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a conversation that's been had a bunch of times before and been had the same way also. So it's a for me. And really based on how we interact on here. I don't know how many times we out of here I'm Jabba the Hutt. Oh, you fat. Oh, you old. Look at your teeth. Oh, you bald. Oh. And these is dudes talking to me. These are not women. So I'm like, dude, why are you so fascinated with my looks? So let's talk about how each other look, I guess. I don't know how many times I done heard I'm white, I'm light, I'm a mulatto. And these are from grown people, educated people. Some of these cats on here is military and all this stuff. And in casual joking, we go into you're white. You're light. You're this. I'm the real black. That was the other thing we were looking at is a clip of who was that? John Galt and Chaotic talking about Moon Cookie or whatever her name is. I don't want to mess her name up. Whatever her name, Moon something, and her sister Tina. Well, y'all not even black. I think one of them said that she's Jamaican. And the other girl says she's 71% something. And these same conversations have been happening my whole life. I used to hear when I was younger, you're light skinned. I've never been light skinned. Never. Even now when I haven't really been out, I mean, I'm not really dark, but I'm honey color. Is honey light skin? I thought light skin was like a red bone or yellow. I show pictures of me when I'm in the sun and I get a little tan. I'm super dark. I don't look honey no more. And these are the kind of conversations that go on all the time. Too much. Too much.
Thinking about fatherhood. It starts to me, thinking about it in middle school, you know what I'm saying? But also in this conversation though, it's like, hey, so before you became a father, before you became a father, when did you think about the general welfare of women?
Well, I'm adopted, so I think that some of that has always been in my mind, just to what will make someone give their child up. You know, since I've always known since I was 7. Feel me? So, what environment was she in? Did she feel protected? Did she feel wanted, cared for, seen? all the things. So early on, but for me I think for me it's kind of gone to a place of just humanity of it all, just like a person. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Right.
I want to feel how I feel. That's me. I want the same for everybody.
Yes.
I want you to live your life. I don't want nobody to take their life. But for the most part, if it makes you happy, go do your thing. That's me.
Right.
That's who I am. I understand.
If it makes you feel happy, go do your thing. It depends on what your thing is. Is your thing robbing folks? What is your thing? What is your thing? It's just not that simple. And I wasn't adopted. I was just bounced all around. And so I know a lot of my friends when I was younger was like in foster homes and juvenile and YA and all of that. So we would always end up around each other, and they always thought, I've been to juvenile and YA or in a foster home or whatever else, because that's how much I was just out there. And that's what people think. Was we in YA together? Nope. Was we in juvenile together? No, I never been to YA. I never been to juvenile. Well, why were you? I was just out, just drifting around. Because when you had those latchkey situations, I told y'all, when I got shipped to my father, now when I was with my my mother's mother, I wasn't drifting around out there like that. But at the same time, it was get out of the house. So we talking about 19 years old. And it was said, don't leave off this block, right? Except when I give you this note to go to the store and get these groceries or something I need. So when I hear people say jump off the porch, it used to be a time, don't leave out this yard. Then that turned in, don't leave off this block, which was a trip because we walked to school. So when I think further back to when we lived on Fresno Street, it was don't leave out that parking lot, because in front of the house, it was a concrete parking lot. Do you understand when you don't have grass? And folks was out there fighting, and I don't know how many times I fell and just scraped off my whole elbow was bleeding. Cause it's just, and then it had like two big ass boulders in the front of it. It was just all stone. To go from that to end up living with my grandmother, who had a lawn in the front, who had grass in the back, who had a couple of dogs, who had a garden. A whole different thing. She always kept her grass cut at a 3-inch blade. And never got to be bigger than that. Watered the grass, kept her bushes trimmed perfectly, manicured. The dogs was clean. Whole different thing. Then I got shipped from that to living in a van with Pops, then living in the bottom of a house in the garage area, the place where the hot water heater and everything else. It's like the utility room in the back of a garage. And then he wasn't there. So I told you I used to go outside and go off with these older kids from 40th and West to 53rd and Gaskill. So I went from almost being in North Oakland to deep North Oakland and hanging out with these kids until the kids started doing them, like, somebody take him on. And a kid would take me on. And when I got took home, wasn't nobody there. Anything could have happened to me. I was 10.
That a lot of people are not like that. A lot of people also don't have my experience.
Yeah.
That has probably made me this way.
For sure.
My upbringing, you dig? Single parent household, only my mama. Watching my mama deal with men. A safety engineer at NASA, surrounded by white men, telling her she don't know what she's doing. And she telling them, you got to put the gloves on. You know what I mean? It's my perspective is from that's my earliest.
That's right. I want to, because how in this moment, because we have, when we're talking about the government, we have abortion bans, Georgia, my home state, Texas. That's leading to women dying, babies dying, people being less safe. And here we have folks, we've been hearing about folks being hung, lynched. We've been hearing about so many things this year that scare me as to how I got a big ass family, how all them people are gonna survive this time. And I'm thinking about, and I'm not thinking about protect Black women like we've always heard it, like protect Black women. Oh, that's my girlfriend, that's my, don't hurt my mama, don't talk about my mama, you know what I mean? But when we talking earlier about
and even with that stuff, so yeah, you gotta have some kind of beard on you, because even that stuff, that's the same thing to me, because you got to have a beard to me, because they keep keeping fear in you. They keep keeping fear in you. It's fear, 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 fear and anger, fear and anger, fear and anger. So people's response to fear and anger sometimes is sex, drugs, and alcohol. I don't know when they're going to take me. What's going to happen next? Oh, yeah. Harmonize. I swear, with all that's being said, as important as it is, all it is just another conversation. It's just another conversation. Dudes that believe in player and being a pimp gonna keep believing in being a player and being a pimp. Dudes that's gonna leave is gonna leave. Dudes that think they got a lie to kick it is gonna lie to kick it. Yeah, this is just another conversation. It's just another conversation. You got the well-read that's trying to articulate something. Look at the group of people that's up there. When I'm with my significant other, I want her to be happy, but I don't want to have to be the person to make her happy. People say men want women to be at peace. I'm already at peace. I just don't want you to cause problems. So all these things, I think they're cliche. It's just stuff people say. Most of this stuff we hearing, I've heard it 1 trillion times before. But I'm sure that if we was in front of each other, they'd be like, nigga, this is serious. But nah, y'all just talking. To be honest, it's just talking. Do I have empathy and sympathy? Sure. A man that got adopted? Sure. The situation that he's saying about his mom? Sure. So that would make me feel like it would be this mega thrust towards unifying. That would mean that it would be this mega thrust to create ecosystems in all these different places. But that's not happening. None of these billionaires that's Black is getting together and saying that we're going to have a Black town where we're going to teach people some basic skills so they can definitely have employment. We're going to make sure we have some control over the seeds and whatever else. We're going to have farmland around, whatever else. We're going to make sure we look out for our people. So when I hear these conversations, they're just talking. Because I believe these is liberals. I'm positive that brother right there with the green hat on, I believe these are liberals. And this is, feminist agenda.
village, right? And how a village, everybody has a responsibility for each person and each responsibility in nourishing, creating that nourishing environment, making sure there's healthy food, clean water, et cetera, et cetera. What are we doing right now to learn what women need, Black women particularly, and play our part in that power building?
I have a question for you guys, because this is something I've been trying to explore, and then I got more on the journey of once I got married. which is like therapy, right? And self discovery, right? Understanding that my wife.
What about the tangible shit that I just got through talking about? Farmland, your own animals, your own ecosystem, somewhere close by. Black market per se. Like, you know, they have farmers markets and that kind of stuff where you can go, somebody didn't fished. They're not going to overcharge you for the fish they wouldn't caught. You know, somebody, you know, has some venison and some cows and some chickens that they know they didn't do nothing to. Real cherries. Real, something that ain't been genetically modified. Real jobs. If you don't want to work at whatever these other jobs are. I don't get it. This is just a circular conversation. I've been hearing this therapy. So when Charlamagne started talking about that, what, 15 years ago, 20 years ago? We need therapy. And don't get me wrong, I went to therapy in 95, and then I went to therapy in 2000 and well, the therapy I went to in 95 was personal therapy. The therapy I went to in 2000 and I want to say maybe 2006, 2007 was family therapy. So in the family therapy, they talked to me by myself, talked to my wife by myself. We had to go to therapy because this is how powerful this new government stuff is. My daughter was going to a school called Berkeley Arts Magnet. And one of her teachers told her that if she got pregnant when she was 13 and she was in fear, she didn't have to come home and tell her mother or her father. That was the beginning when I started hearing this woke shit in school. I was like, why the fuck would they say that? The first people you should come and talk to is me and your mother. Then I started hearing just more of this woke shit. And then I think my daughter turned 16. She said she wanted to be emancipated. And he's like, what the fuck is this? And took us to court. She wanted to be emancipated. They put her in some kind of foster home type shit. But my wife and me was still around her the whole damn time. So I was like, what was the point of the damn emancipation? Because my wife wasn't finna just let our daughter just be out there. So she's emancipated, living somewhere else. And so of course, so she got emancipated when she was 16. So she had my granddaughter when she was, let me see, how old is Roro? 18 or 19. Somewhere around there, 18 or 19. And now she got 3 kids. But yeah, she got emancipated. And then, you know, that automatically had to go to damn court. Automatically, they were saying, you know, get family counseling to see what was going on with the family. So they talked to me. All the accusations that had to be made, though, on me, when I went to the court, the judge apologized to me. Then before we went to the therapist, we had to talk to some whole other, it was just a whole big mess. But I blame all this woke shit these damn white people was telling her. And that shit played out in school too, because my youngest, we had him going to a place called Oakland Military Institute. So in that school, When he first got there, they had structure and order and all this other stuff. But then these damn woke people came up in there and told the people, you can't give them no demerits no more when they're acting up. So they basically crippled the military people there. So the last years he was in the school, I'm at the school and the kids are just barking in teachers' faces. A school where active military people is there. Barking. I'm like, whoa, what the hell is happening here? And then here's the thing that's even crazier than that. So the teachers called to have parent meetings. I'm up there looking at, because I'm up there too, because I'm having a parent meeting. There's other parents up there. The parents is barking on the teachers too. So when I go up to the school and I'm talking to the teachers, they say, oh, this is so very refreshing, sir. I'm like, what do you mean? Because usually the parents take the student side. I got to the school one day, military woman tells me, your son don't give a fuck about nothing. She didn't say those words. She said he doesn't care about anything. That crushed me. So that's why I say kids in front of you, while, they're at home or whatever else, can smile and act like the greatest, kindest, understanding kids. And you don't know who they are when they're not around you. So that's my thing on the whole therapy thing. And we never did go to no therapy though. After my daughter therapy shit, we never went back to no therapy shit. And my son was just about to graduate when all that shit was going on. He was supposed to have been, well, he was playing football at the school. And then when I found out about all the bad grades and stuff that I don't know about, because when he got to the school, me and my wife talked about it, but I wasn't at the school in the first year. And then she passed, and now I'm at the school all the time. So then one day he had a conversation with me about, why do you care now? I swear I don't understand young folks. We live together. You can talk to me any day, all day, whenever you're around. We're in the same damn house. Then we had a discussion about that, but you're downstairs. We live in a split level. If you're in the living room, just walk to the kitchen, go down the stairs, and I'm right there. What are you saying right now? When I listen to some people talk, some people just be in their own head and they have their own whatever. And when I hear about like abuse nowadays, they're not even talking about abuse. They talking about some psychological shit. I sometimes listen to my children and they relay to me something that sounds like I should be saying. I actually got beat to blood when I was younger. I was actually just out in the world when I was younger. These people have both parents spoiled. And somehow the attitude is, because that's something my youngest son asked me and I almost snapped on him. He said, in a time of, quiet, when he wasn't, sticking his chest out, and I think he was serious. He said, but Dad, now understand, there was time where I really couldn't walk. There have been times where I couldn't really walk because I am messed up. I can walk now. There was times I was really messed up. So there's a birthday picture where you see me in wheelchairs and all this other shit. My son actually looked me directly in my eyes and said, Dad, don't you think you could have done more? I'm like, let me understand this. You got a roof over your head. All those pictures, Mom used to like to take all these pictures about every birthday party, when we went out to dinners, everything, just document everything. So it's physical documentation of you being a chubby kid so you wasn't hungry, You have both parents to talk to. You got the Wii's and the PlayStations and the Nintendos and the Xbox. What would the more would have been? You got your own room. In the back of the house, they had their own clubhouse. On the side of the clubhouse, they had a play structure with a climbing structure, a slide, all of the stuff. They had their own family dog, which when we left, the dog was with us, and we were staying in a Motel 6 until we got to this house. He was supposed to be watching the dog. He let the dog loose. He learned how to drive, so I let him drive our van. He was at the school doing donuts in the van. My fault, though. I blame me because I swung the pendulum too far this way. I got the shit beat out of me. They didn't get touched, so now they just, well, we don't know what the future holds. We just know what happened in the time that we had them. They say teach them in the right way to go and they'll come back. So
I've had her own journey of therapy.
Thank you.
Being introduced to anger management,
Yes,
right? It's not because you punching holes in the wall, but it's because you just get certain triggers that you don't know how to handle and you don't know how to. So I think for me, I'm going on a journey, and I'm curious if you all are going on this too or eager to go on it, because I am learning how to be more enthusiastic about it. Because therapy saying I don't feel like talking to somebody, I don't want to, you know. So just having that kind of, for me, that's where I'm at and figuring out that's how I'm gonna make.
now, while I was going, see, I'm even keeled. I've always been even keeled. So I wasn't enthusiastic about going, but it was a part of my probation. I had to go. So I wasn't enthusiastic about going, but I wasn't like, damn, I gotta go. I just went. And then when I get up in there, I was there for like a year or something. I swear the only thing that was being said is, ask me a question then, how does that make you feel? How do you deal with that? It's really, they know what they're doing because that's their profession. But I swear it just seemed like I don't really know why you need it if all it's going to be is how do you feel and how do you deal with that and how is this and how is that? And I guess from asking me these questions, if I'd have said something crazy, it'd have been like, well, maybe I need to be on some Thorazine or maybe I need to be on some Ritalin. I don't know how they determine those things, but I'm just answering honestly because I'm trying to see, maybe I can get something out of this. I swear all I heard was, how do you feel? What's the relationship with your mother? What's the relationship with your father? What's your situation now? How do you get, when you get angry, what do you feel like doing? Now, because I'm an even keeled person, what I try not to do is laugh in people's face. Because sometimes, and this person was very serious, but what I try to do is not laugh in people's face because it should be like, it's either be angry or laugh at it. I choose not to be angry. I don't like being angry. So I kind of laugh more. And people think like I'm the Joker, like I'm laughing like I don't have no control no matter what. If you stab me, I'm going to laugh. No, it's just that I don't want to be angry. And people be saying shit that I be thinking they trying to make you angry. Even the demeanor of the voice of the therapist. Because it's very like somebody read a book to fuck with you. Yeah, so how does that make you feel? It's like, hypnotizing.
My wife feels safe.
Yes.
She wants to know that in any conversation, I ain't gonna just be like, all right, I gotta go outside and smoke real quick. Like, she wants to feel safe. And the more we can make them feel safe, And because you naturally, we all want to provide. Most men, you want to be the provider, you want to go out there and do the thing, but you forget about it ain't just monetarily, it ain't just hanging out with your son and your daughter. It's like, how do I have these conversations and actually know how to have them?
Yes.
Because sometimes you don't understand that. You don't get taught how to, deal with impulse control and all those type of things. I would be curious to know if then you all had your own therapy journey and trying to figure out how to, obviously keep your spouse safe or anybody in your life to safe. I know we're particularly talking about the women in our lives. So.
He literally said just what I was.
And I want to even talk about that too. This whole safety, protect, safety, protect. I don't think you can really keep nobody safe. As an individual, you can, don't get me wrong, I'll jump in front of a bullet for my wife. I'll do something to you for my wife, but I don't really think you can keep nobody safe because I could just jump in front of a bullet now that I'm gone. Pow, they got me. Now what? So when people would ask me that question, I'll be like, yeah, after they get me up out the way, then what? Because the story is like, I'm Superman. When I jump in front of the bullet, I can take 3 or 4 or 5 of them. Okay, folks will run out here with switches. And I don't really see people strong arming people. I see groups of people going after folks. So if you want to be honest about it, I don't really think an individual, don't get me wrong, they might be able to pop first if they ready. And you got to be ready at all times. But my wife wasn't finna be waiting for me to do whatever else. She was just going to go. I get up and I'm like, well, I see her when she get back. She gone. I knew about vacation she was planning or whatever else because I was looking at the Carnival Cruise crap with her. But on a day-to-day basis, where are you going? What are you doing? How can you be reached and all? I didn't even think to ask none of that shit. Just got to trust you. Same thing with my kids. I know where they was all the damn time. She had the numbers of some of their friends, but we don't know what the hell them kids gonna do. So this whole thing about always being able to protect somebody, that's another lofty dream. Only way I can protect you is if you're in front of me, and even then, if I get popped first, then there you go.
I don't care what said. If you think you are okay, go to therapy. If you don't, I've been in therapy like 4 to 5 years, and it's bigger than, like Luke was saying, I'm going to stay in my house, but just
like going to therapy, to each his own. Like I said, I went in there, even keeled, I did whatever, and I got signed off after a year. But I wouldn't keep going to therapy. I wouldn't be going to, I probably go to therapy. Probably should have went to therapy 2 or 3 years ago when I was dealing with that, maybe. But I don't feel like going to no therapy. For what? Some people be in therapy for 10 years. Some people, they never stop going. I know some people that's been in school for 10 years or more. They just school addicted. They just keep going.
because you stay in your house don't mean you're going to have a healthy environment, because you could stay for 20, 30 years for them kids. But if they saw anger and this, that, and the third, you can't be mad that they go out and do the same thing of what they saw. It is encouraged that if you take it self, you need to take it self. You need to have couples there. We as men, even wanting to be better, we only have the information that we've been given amongst each other, but we don't have different perspectives. It's okay to take perspectives from white people because they don't have the mindset of survival that we have. So when you hear different, you think different, you move different. It's more, you're more optimistic to know how to move within your household. It is my children. I don't care that they're only 9, 10, 7, 6. They have problems, and every black man at this table had problems. We had situations we couldn't talk to people about. Get your children in therapy. If you can't afford to do it, healthcare can cover it. Get your children in therapy because they need to have that healthy outlet to have somebody. They don't always feel safe talking to mom and daddy, regardless of how well we are. they don't feel safe doing that.
I would say be careful about getting your therapy from white people, but
I didn't say get it. Don't get. I didn't say white therapists.
No, I know.
Listening to
Just also
just in general when they talk about.
Watch when you're listening to them too. But what I do want to also say is that I think is really important is that our safety doesn't. That our responsibility in Black women's safety isn't on us to protect our partner generally. It's not just us that's going to have that responsibility.
For sure.
We have to realize that honestly, statistically, the safety from a partner in America is that you're actually less safe from your partner generally.
Partner violence
is so the safety has to come from how you build an accountability outside of that relationship, outside of that family. What is that village you building, right?
Right.
And so I'm interested.
I'm listening. So like I'm just gathering information. I have a lot.
Well, I'm saying both of y'all.
No, same. Yeah.
I know, jump in there.
Yeah, I think they just chopping it up. So I kind of got I got the right understanding of the other day. Yeah, but I don't know why them white folks was talking about if you 13 years old and you get pregnant. I don't even know how that conversation came up. Or all of the other, that one thing stuck out in my mind though. Telling my damn daughter, if you get pregnant at 13, you don't have to tell your parents. That one thing, but it was a bunch of shit, a bunch of woke shit. That I didn't agree with at all. So I thought, okay, let's take her out of that school. But then the last school she was at was Fremont, and they had the same shit going on there. So it's like in all schools now. Same thing, the youngest son, years later, Oakland Military Institute, same shit jumped off in there. So yeah, all that shit threw me off mentally. But yeah. We took a deeper look, and it was just, people chopping it up. So thank you everybody for coming. I'll be back later on. As I always say, be great.
Shut this motherfucker down!
That's all, folks.